First, there was the CARES Act, then the HEROES Act, and now it's the HEALS Act. The new stimulus program called the HEALS Act is for health, economic assistance, liability protection, and schools. The HEROES Act passed in May in the House with a $3 trillion budget, and the HEALS Act is a proposal from the Senate GOP with a $1 trillion budget. There's a huge difference of $2 trillion, which leaves much room for debate. When the HEROES Act passed, we saw light at the end of the tunnel for the reopening of America. This latest, the HEALS Act, comes along when there are record coronavirus cases and the reclosing of states. While Congress is debating, the $600 weekly unemployment benefit bonus ended, the Federal Protection Eviction Ban ended, and many states have no replacement in sight. What once looked like a brighter reopening now looks like an extended closure with long-standing events and traditions such as the Rose Parade and the International Consumer Electronics Show canceled within this past week. With 31.8 million people claiming unemployment this month in July, Americans have been looking to the government for assistance. And now comes the HEALS Act, introduced by the Senate GOP this past Monday, a couple days ago. According to CNET, here's some key points in the next stimulus bill. Number one, the second stimulus check. This one's designed to spur spending. So this is a $1,200 stimulus check like the last time. They are saying, now this is a proposal, that the payment is not taxable and you can use it however you want. Last time they sent out direct deposits and stimulus checks, and then the economic impact payment with the EIP cards. So how they send it out this time is, well, let's just say, I'm going to presume it's a direct deposit if that's how you received it before, or if you received a check or EIP card, that's probably how it's going to go again. Look for this round of stimulus checks or stimulus payments to end up either A, as direct deposit if you received it that way before, or as an EIP card or economic impact payment card that looked like those. Well, actually, they thought they were fake cards, and that would probably be the ones that were getting checks or had an EIP card. And hopefully, if you had an EIP card, you kept it. Extended modified unemployment benefits for jobless Americans. This is one that a lot of people have been looking forward to, because right now the extended modified unemployment, there's an extra $600 per week bonus on top of state unemployment. We're expecting to see something happen. What it is, we're not quite certain, but we're not expecting it to be quite as generous as $600 a week. The numbers that we're looking at are anywhere from $200 to $500. I've heard $100 to $300. Basically, they are all over the board. One of the things that is noticeable, though, is that when they first did this, it's like we thought we were going to reopen, and now some of the states are closing. People thought they were going to be going back to work, and it's not happening, okay? And here's the other part is that they believe if consumers cannot spend, we are in a lot of trouble. That by pulling this back, that it's going to hurt the low-income families the most. This is what the experts are saying. So we will see if they pay any attention to it. Right here it says the $600 a week disproportionately benefits poor people, and that is really a feature, not a bug. Says Martha Gimble, manager of economic research at Schmidt Futures. It was originally a bug, but it's turned into a feature where poor people are just more likely to spend. And this is in a story by Yahoo Money. The Payroll Protection Program to help businesses retain employees. See, originally the date was set to expire. They extended it till August 8th. I believe they still have money. The biggest challenge here is the PPP was meant to preserve paychecks, and there's a portion that could be a grant, but it's really a loan that may or may not be forgivable. So a lot of the small businesses that I've spoken with basically have said, we don't want to get further into debt if we're not even certain if we're going to stay in business. So while they want to give out money through the PPP program, people just don't want to be on the line. Next one is employee retention tax credit would help pay wages. Actually, that would be nice. But the biggest challenge right now is I know a lot of the businesses are just really struggling to stay in business or figuring out what they're doing. But tax relief could help. The return to work bonus of about $450 per week, and that's a temporary weekly bonus for unemployed workers who secure a new job or are rehired. Now what's interesting is they're updating the unemployment, so it would be $200 to $500 a week. They give you a bonus for $450 a week if you go back to work. Further giving you incentive to go back to work. Now, I know a lot of people, they've been at home for so long, they would just be really happy to go back to work. Oh, and did I also mention that by not working and just collecting unemployment, that they are not getting health benefits either. And a lot of them could probably use it. But they are saying right here that why we think it may not happen. The White House may express interest in the bonus, and Portman continues to support the idea. While White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow did suggest it would be part of the Hills proposal, but McConnell and the other Senate presenters did not mention a bonus on Monday. So, rental assistance to fend off evictions. Now, this one's important because the eviction moratorium actually expired this past weekend. So, there are people that, unless their area or community has extended it, are actually on the precipice of getting evicted, especially if they are not getting unemployment and they can't find a job. And I really like this part. The rental assistance program will temporarily help you pay rent if you qualify, put a hold on evictions for a year, and help cover costs of rental property owners because of rental payment shortfalls. So it could not. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I know the communities are stepping up to help people, but do you know, rent is so freaking expensive in Los Angeles and other big cities. So we'll see what happens. Payroll tax cuts so workers can receive bigger paychecks. Here it is again. First of all, they'd like to work to be able to get a paycheck. And the payroll tax cuts so they could get a bigger paycheck. That would be nice. With all of these points being offered with the HEALS Act, there's a huge difference between what the HEROES Act proposed at a huge bill or price tag of $3 trillion and the HEALS Act with the price tag of $1 trillion. But here, this speaks about it the most through the headlines. It is CNN Politics. Headline is Republicans Revolt Against the GOP's Initial Stimulus Plan. This is updated as of Tuesday, July 28th, 8:54 p.m. And through Politico, it's a mass Republican senators deride key proposals in the GOP virus package. And basically it says, Senate Republicans complained on Tuesday about key provisions in the GOP-authored coronavirus relief bill one day after its unveiling, as Democrats panned the proposal as a non-starter. So as you can see, there's a huge difference between what the Republicans have offered and what the Democrats have done. So between the HEROES Act and the HEALS Act, there is a huge divide. And as Speaker Pelosi says, it seems to me that Senator McConnell really doesn't want to get an agreement after an hour-long meeting in her office with Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. But they'll meet again tomorrow and try and reach a deal anytime. One thing's for certain is there will be much debate between today and when they finally iron this out. And the date that we're looking at is August 7th if they want to go ahead and get their recess. So, you know, a little over a week. So we'll see what happens. But I know many Americans are standing by. I know people have asked me already because they said, well, our extra unemployment ended July 25th. What happens now? Well, right now you're not going to get it. But whatever they pass, they will make it usually retroactive till the July 25th date or July 26th date to go ahead and catch up. But one thing's for certain is you cannot count on it yet. They're still debating and, well, expect them to go up to the wire when it comes to how long they'll be negotiating, because they'll still want the recess and they'll be right down to the wire, because this is, how shall we call it? They will push it to the last minute, and they all have different issues that they would love to get into the bills. And they're supposed to be representing their communities. So, you know, they go back and forth. They'll go, oh, I'll do this if you'll put this in, and then you'll get my vote. And that's, well, let's just say, that's just how Congress works. Thanks for joining us. This is the Atlas Post. If you've been enjoying this, please do share our videos, like them, make comments, let your voices be known. Check out our playlist and subscribe for the latest updates. You can also support us on Patreon as well as buy me a coffee. Tap into your news with the Atlas Post. Have a joyful day.